back for another session of Coffee with Moshe. I hope you have your coffee with you. Today's featured coffee is from Germany, first class. I think it's called Bellarum. A bunch of writings in German in the background, in the back of it, but I do see in the fine print, Hergestellt in Deutschland. So I guess that means this is from Germany. People give you a lot of gifts, which are nice, and gifts like this are always appreciated, coffee. And this is one of our IKI mugs, also a gift showing the friendship between Israel and Holland, and hopefully I will be in Holland soon, God willing, for our seminar there the last weekend in June, rescheduled from March, so hopefully I'll see many of you in Holland, the Netherlands as it's called, or Nederlands correctly. So today with Coffee with Moshe, we're continuing with blogs. So I'd like to read a blog and discuss it a little bit, and you can send in your questions. So this blog comes from Krav Maga Blogs 2009, and I wrote it. As you can see, there's my picture. And this blog is called Karate Kid, Is It Real? So we're talking about the movie The Karate Kid and what value is there to it. Of course, since then, there have been many follow-ups to The Karate Kid, as well as the current series of Cobra Kai. Martial arts movies, Rocky, Bloodsport, Karate Kid, The Quest, are they real? Well, of course they are fiction, but are they really? No, the great ones are not fiction at all. They embody the soul of the fighting arts, and they are a tremendous source of inspiration for those that understand them. Now, what am I saying? That, of course, these movies are fictional. Some of these cases, I know the people that wrote them. I know, for example, my good friend Sheldon Lettich, who's a screenwriter, and Frank Dukes, he also wrote some of these films. So, of course they're fictional. But are they fictional when they come from somebody's heart? And they're telling a message. It's somebody's soul. It's somebody's real story that comes from inside them. Though the events may be not actually factual, the story comes from somebody's inside, so it is real in a way. The Karate Kid is the movie that finally pushed me into starting karate lessons. And today I had an international martial arts organization, and I've touched the lives of thousands of people in Israel, the USA, and worldwide. Is that real? The Karate Kid introduced the greater public to the way of the warrior, the values in martial arts training, and the vital role they play in people's lives, especially the young. Is that real? Today, people may not realize that the movie Karate Kid, the first one, had a huge impact on martial arts schools. It was the greatest thing, it was the greatest free advertising that any martial arts dojo could hope for. When the Karate Kid came out, people just lined up to join the schools. I wish that would happen again. Who does not know a Daniel-san, a kid lacking in confidence with a chip on his shoulder? I know my friend Arthur Cohen had a Daniel-san. His name was Jerry Seinfeld. How many Daniel-sons end up as criminals or angry, disgruntled adults? How many of us yearn for the guidance of a wise Mr. Miyagi? Is not all this real? There is so very much to learn from this film. In our lives today, we demand instant answers. Instant answers, instant satisfaction, instant coffee, instant food. Today we have instant messaging, instant coffee, instant dinners. Mr. Miyagi shows us that sometimes we have to have faith in someone wiser, older. We must follow even if we do not understand at first. We must trust our guides and elders. In order to learn, we must first accept. There will be ample time later for questions, but first we must take a deep breath and accept. We may not always understand the advice we are given. That is how it is meant to be. We have to ponder it over time. Mr. Miyagi says, Daniel-san, do you understand? And Daniel answers, I think so. We must realize that learning is a process, and this process cannot and will not take place unless we trust our teachers, our guides. We must take our training seriously, never half-heartedly. We must balance this seriousness with some comedy. We must balance fierceness with mercy and aggression with understanding. I recall our Uchideshi at the Oyama Dojo in New York, the live-in students from Japan who would train with Saikoshin Shigeru Oyama. And they did not come much tougher than these guys. These were pretty tough guys, I remember them. Their entire lives were karate. But I still remember their hearty laugh at jokes, always in Japanese, so I didn't quite get it. After class, they had balance in their lives. The stories are real. The characters and emotions are real. The message is real. Only the script is fictional. Most importantly, the ability of the movie to inspire us to become better human beings is very real. Mr. Miyagi is an evolved human being. Daniel-san, not yet. A teenager. Mr. Miyagi has his own human weaknesses. He has his own ongoing pain at the loss of his wife and unborn child, and at the way Japanese were treated by the Americans during World War II with the concentration camps. He has a certain emptiness and a need to give of himself. He's a lonely old man. But Mr. Miyagi is very much himself. He knows who he is. Self-awareness. He is calm and confident because he is at peace with who he is. He has a firm identity and sense of self, and he knows how to respond to others. He knows when to fight. He knows when not to fight. He is never provoked into a fight. He knows this is a sign of weakness, not strength. When Daniel wants to leave, Mr. Miyagi does not stop him. Daniel must come back on his own when he is ready, on his own terms. Never force someone to stay in your life, in your dojo, in your association. They want to go, let them go. When the bad guy karate teacher insults Miyagi in front of the entire dojo, Mr. Miyagi does not respond with violence or even with words. His only response is a calm, very honorable stare right back at him, that John Kreese. He does not need to argue back. He certainly does not need to hit. He will choose the time and place to respond, if and when it is appropriate. He does not feel embarrassed by the insults and taunts of a less evolved human being. Too many martial arts students feel they must always fight back. Too many do not understand that strength comes from choosing your fights and not being provoked into someone else's anger. The Karate Kid covers so many aspects of the true values of martial arts. After so many years of training, the fight scenes no longer impress me, with all due credit to Pat Johnson, the wonderful trainer. But the depth of character in the film continues to inspire me. Today, looking at the Karate Kid movies and even the Cobra Kai's, the fights, are a joke. They're choreographed, they're not impressive at all. But the script, the feeling, the emotion, the lessons, the wisdom, that is ongoing. Daniel, hey, you ever get into a fight when you were a kid? Mr. Miyagi, plenty. Daniel, yeah, but it wasn't like before. It wasn't like the problem I have, right? Mr. Miyagi, why? Fighting. Same. Daniel, yeah, but you knew karate. Mr. Miyagi, someone always know more. Daniel-san, you mean there were times when you were scared to fight? Mr. Miyagi, always scared. Miyagi hate fighting. Daniel-san, yeah, but you like karate. Mr. Miyagi, so? Daniel-san, so karate's fighting. You train to fight. Mr. Miyagi, that's what you think? Daniel, no. Mr. Miyagi, then why train? Daniel, so I won't have to fight. Mr. Miyagi, he laughs. Miyagi have hope for you yet. And the lesson is, find a teacher, someone you can trust. Don't expect instant results, instant gratification. Enjoy the process. I'm still part of the process.